Hey, this is one of your hosts of the JT Show out here in Escalante, Utah at the National Park, the Petrified Wood Park to be exact, and this is my favorite view, so thanks for watching the JT Show.
It's the JT Cho Show!
10. You believe it's episode 133 of the JT Show?
Welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's episode 133 of the JT Show. If you're wondering what the toilet paper for is, well, that's because I have the worst sinuses right now and because of the grass, you know?
We did just go golfing, that's why.
So you're wondering, like, hey, there's a time gap between episodes, you know? They were like, what took you so long?
What the fuck happened, dude?
Well, you know, I went on vacation, selfishly.
Where'd you go?
Utah.
Nice.
We can
What
get
for?
my college roommate, one of my really good friend, John Burke's wedding. We'll clip this. Him and Lexi. You know what? John Burke got married.
Yeah.
Her last name was Burkholder.
So is it Burke?
No, just Burke.
It should be Burke.
But hers was Burkholder.
Burkholder?
But that's hilarious.
Or Burkholder Burke?
He's a Burke.
That sounds like Burkholder Burke sounds like a law firm.
Yeah, but you know, we'll dive into that in a second.
She should go by Burke.
While I'm pouring these shots, who is your birthday today on March 19th? May 19th? May 19th.
Yeah. You know whose birthday is today? Malcolm motherfucking X. Fucking the man, the myth, the legend.
It's a great
He'd be
one.
98 today. He's born in Omaha.
Yeah.
Omaha.
That's a really good one.
Right? That's it. Malcolm fucking X.
Mine is Michael Che.
Michael Che, that's not a bad one. Mine's a little better. There was another really good one. You know who else's birthday is today? Cher.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking Cher's birthday today.
Cher.
Yeah.
Well, here,
But,
cheers to Shay,
happy
Cher,
birthday
and
to
Malcolm
the
X.
old goat, Malcolm X. Ooh. It's so sweet and fucking punches you in the mouth every time.
I almost just want a regular Jameson shot. Oh, well. We'll get used to that.
JMO Orange ain't bad.
What do you use JMO for? Is that
JMO Ginger.
Now, what's that drink they used to make all the time? Green tea shots?
Green teas, yeah. Yeah. I've done it before. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good.
So anyways, I was in Utah.
Yeah.
We're at Utah right now. We're talking about Utah 2020. So we'll throw some photos up. But basically, flew out there early, drove from Denver, drove through the Rocky Mountains. It was awesome. I went through like Eisenhower Tower. I get out there a day earlier than everybody else, and then they arrive on Thursday. I meet up with the group, but every day I go hiking.
Yeah.
Every day I go to a spot where I will not see the same shit, probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But the scenes were great. I saw some cave paintings. I know there's a better term for that, hieroglyphs or something like that.
Cave paintings.
Yeah, but
I don't think hieroglyphs were like the Egyptian shit.
Yeah.
I think it's just cave
there's
paintings.
there's a more proper name.
I think it's just cave paintings.
I mean, let me Google it. But anyways,
I'm sure there's like a scientific term for it, but it's cave paintings.
So like these ones are exposed to the outer elements and they still survive. And so this college is like
Google fancy word for cave painting.
No, I just wanted to see if they had another name for it or known as. But anyways,
It's cave paintings.
Yeah, it probably. I was thinking of something else. Paleolithic. That's the region. That's
Paleolithic cave paintings.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, anyways,
so you saw some cave paintings.
Yeah, and they were sick, and the college started digging next to them once the owner of the property was like, "Hey, I found some fucking cave paintings," and they were like, "Ah." And they were like, "Oh shit!" And now they're excavating shit that used to be there.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty cool. But overall, Utah was great. Funny story: when I first went to meet up with my boy John, he was staying at like something Riddle House.
Okay.
Camp is like the Ian Riddle House. That's the name of the cabin. And I just heard Riddle House, so I fucking roll up, and this guy's like, "Are you checking in?" I was like, "I'm trying to find my buddy John. He's here with Lexi."
and I think they're staying in like the Tom Riddle house, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, you fucking Weasley!" But yeah, no, but really, he was like, "Are you talking about
Get out of
the?"
here, you Weasley.
But he goes, "Are you talking about the Ian Riddle house?"
Get
And
your
then
Gryffindor ass out of here.
yeah, dude, I was just like, yes, and I was just like, and then the other name was something funny too, where I fucked it up too, and I can't remember what the other house was called, but that
You
was
do love fucking up names.
yeah. I mean, but I hear Ian Riddle, and I just override
Tom
Ian.
Riddle.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson, same thing, dude.
Same.
So yeah, but overall it was great, but we couldn't do the podcast because I was staying in a little ass cabin, which was
Yeah,
hilarious.
big piece of shit.
Yeah, but it was a great trip. Great trip.
It sounded like a good time. I've been to Utah once with you, and I mean we both had a really good time. We didn't do any fucking hiking or anything.
I saw a lot of signs for Moab,
Oh yeah.
and then which I've been before, and then they were like, "Oh, is this your first time in Utah?" I'm like, "It's my third time in Utah." And they're like, "Really?" And then someone had the audacity to say, "Be careful with that desert heat." And I said, "Weird. I lived there for 5 years, so I think I know what desert heat is."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you lived out west?" And I was like, "Yeah, for 5 fucking years."
Yeah.
And oh, where'd you get deployed to? Worse out west,
Further west.
way further west.
Oh, so far west it's east.
So far west, it's east, and you know how hot it is. Well, it's hotter.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
The day I landed in Qatar, it was 120 degrees.
So,
I got off the plane I went from like a cool Baltimore, like 75. And then we got in the plane, and the plane was like nice and air conditioned. And then as soon as that door opened and I got up to it and the wind hit me, it just
one of those
was
days,
like, oh.
one of those days where you were illegally working too many shifts in a row,
Yeah.
and I had nobody to hang out with. It was like 123 degrees outside, and I went to the Fox at like noon,
Yeah.
and I had 3 beers outside underneath the shade thing. And I was just like, ripped, and so I walked back to my dorm, and then I was sober because I just sweated it all out.
You walked a half mile and you're fucking sober.
Yeah,
It was probably about a mile, maybe a little less.
yeah.
We definitely had the closer dorms.
It was definitely less. It was about 3/4 of a mile at most.
Yeah.
But-
in
but,
between a half and a mile.
But yeah, probably 3/4 because the track was there. It was
Yeah.
definitely longer than the track, and that track's a
Yeah.
quarter mile track.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
um,
But we did get lucky because we were the closest ones to the Fox, other than the RDLs or whatever they were.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I met up with maybe we'll talk to some of them. Chris, he's like offering the JT Show an extra mic.
Okay.
And then maybe an old camera if we want one, like a fucking like noise camera,
Take it.
because he's trying to introduce both of us to the Veterans Club out in Ann Arbor.
Nice.
So like we could go to a game,
I wouldn't mind it.
tailgate with a bunch of vets who have their own tent,
Okay
and
with
sometimes they just are like, "Hey, anybody need 2 tickets? Because we got extra tickets to the Vets Club." So Chris might hook us up with that, which is sick.
Fuck yeah, Chris.
Chris was in the Army.
Oh, fuck you, Chris.
So me and
I'm just
Chris, he was like, everybody's got a turd story in the military. I was like, totally true. I have one. It's great.
I am the turd.
Yeah. I was taking the regular like, oh, chair force, and I was just like, oh, what branch for you? And this old guy was like, Marines, and I was like, yeah. I was like, I felt so bad for being in the Air Force when a Marine would roll through. He's like, ha ha. And I was like, because I would be like, hey guys, we don't have Crayola, we got Rosart. So the crayons you're gonna eat tonight are a little less superior than you like.
A little cheaper.
And then the one Army kid laughed. He was like, "Dude, Air Force food's the best." And I was like, "Nah, it's shitty."
It is shitty, but it's way better than what they had.
Yeah.
Way better than what they had.
And I was like,
we were eating it like a 5 rank. They were eating it like a 2.
and so I turned over and I was like, "Yo, man, you know what? One of my favorite insults of the Army ever was." And he's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "So." We're all adults overseas living in dormitories on a fucking foreign soil. And some kids who are 18, 19 who have never fucking been an adult before were throwing their food in the hallway and sticking shit to fucking walls and shit.
Yeah, that
and
was
so,
a mess.
so not only was that not even our building, that was a mixed Army Air Force building, but they
That
gathered
was the NCO building.
they gathered all of us together, and our leadership said, if you don't fucking stop doing this shit, we're gonna make you set up in a tent and live like the Army. And I was like, hey, they're right over there. They can literally hear you.
They hear you saying
they're like, wait.
You guys are getting paid?
Yeah. And he laughed his ass out because I was like, and there they were. Not
getting paid.
Yeah, dude. It was so funny, dude. And I was like, just imagine someone insulting you to your face, and you're just like, I'm right here. And he's like,
Yeah.
I said it.
My favorite one was, I said it to my little brother when he was going to enlist in the Marine Corps. And I said it in a bar to a Marine that I met with the Marine I went to high school with. And he was making fun of me because I was like, yeah, it was Air Force. He goes, oh, it's Air Force. And I looked at him, I was like, it's not my fault that we had chairs. Like, don't put that on me just because you guys couldn't sit down your whole enlistment. And he laughed. He goes, dude, that's fucking true. And I was like, yeah, I know it's true. You call us Air Force all we want. My knees are fine. Like, my shoulder's fucked up, but my knees are fine.
Yeah, dude. And also, like, the point that you bring up, if you're a Marine, unless you get married, have fun eating powdered eggs. For
Eating powdered eggs and sharing a room with 3 dudes.
6 years of your life if you're an average person.
At least.
At least.
There were NCOs that were still living in the dorms. But NCOs for them are E3s.
Okay.
Or,
So they got
not E3s,
E4s.
E4s, yeah. Senior Airman for them is an NCO.
Yeah.
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 And
But
they
they
get
gotta
put in
be-
charge of the people. So they're like,
They're
they're basically
door
like the
managers.
door manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
Yeah.
This is my 3rd year door manager.
I heard
so-
some crazy shit from the Marine Corps, dude. They allegedly this one dude was sleeping in his bunk, and they threw another mattress on top of him and duct taped him in between them, and tossed him off the 2nd-story balcony
Hilarious.
in between 2 mattresses.
That's pretty.
He was
funny.
just fine.
Yeah.
He landed flat.
I
I asked him. I was like, "What if he landed like this and went,
to his head. Yeah.
or even towards his feet and then landed like that and just fucking whapped his head?
Yeah.
Like, imagine he just got scorpioned in between 2 mattresses."
Hey, look. If that would have been me, and everything was fine, I would have thought that was one of the funniest things that ever happened, and unfortunately, it was to me.
But if leadership saw that and you were in that mattress, you're getting paid.
Yeah. Or.
Paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 100% medical retirement plus disability.
Yeah.
You're raking in like $5,000 a month at a minimum.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Just takes one person. It just takes one person to see you for generational wealth.
It takes one practical joke that you
That's
used
it.
to be able to get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They definitely still do it. They
Yeah.
definitely still do it.
So much has happened between our last podcast and this. One thing that is
Kings are out of the playoffs. Golden State's out of the playoffs.
it's now 2-0 Denver,
Yep.
and it is 1-0 Heat. Heat play tonight on May 19th, so it's Jimmy Buckets. Now, there's a weird conspiracy video that I saw that I don't really believe, but I like the effort, and it's that the NBA is dying to get a Lakers-Celtics rematch in the finals because, classic teams and LeBron James and viewership, but
That seems like
When-
like an old owner pipe dream.
when Jimmy Buckets laid up the game like a going ahead basket, the ref makes this weird, he's like, "Ugh," like one of those faces, and I think that's what a dirty layup to get
Yeah,
him
like,
head in
ooh.
there. But the way it was perceived was like, oh, he wasn't supposed to make that because we want the Lakers to win. So I like the fucking effort by the people. And the only thing right now against the Heat that I don't like is that they have more championships than the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So I would rather see a Jokic.
I'd rather see Jokic get it.
Yeah.
But if it's Jokic v. Butler, it's a win-win for me.
Entertainment.
It's a win-win for me.
With my sinus infection, and you shouldn't vape on a sinus infection, but I don't give a shit. Anyways, Wednesday we were going to game. We will talk about a game, but we were going to game together.
Yes. That's new news
yeah,
since
yeah,
last time we
yeah.
did the pod.
Wednesday night, though, I took a Benadryl because it's the only thing that was in the local bookstore that I went to, and it put me out like a light bulb. So Wednesday night, I missed the Lakers Nuggets
I haven't
game,
watched any of them since the Kings lost.
but the next night I watched the Heat Celtics game. It was fire.
Yeah.
And then game 3 of the Lakers Celtics, I had it pulled up on my phone, and it was fire because the Lakers looked like they were going to run away with an early third quarter lead, And then right in the fourth quarter, the
we
Nuggets,
were talking about it last night because you kept saying they were up, and I was like, nah, dude, Jokic's going to come back.
Yeah, and they came back. It was like 87-83. Like, that's when the
Low-scoring
turning...
game.
Like the Lakers were up, like, in the 70s way before the Nuggets were. And then
They locked them down.
as we finished around at Apex, I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
it's like the last game...
It shifted pretty quickly during our rounds.
When I
too.
was in Utah and I was watching Golden State lose the last game, we were playing Breath of the Wild. Bless you 3 times. We were playing Breath of the Wild, which we'll talk about.
Hey, real quick before we move on from NBA.
Yeah.
So, do you know how much box seats we're going for at Game 2 Lakers Nuggets?
65,000.
80,000.
Okay.
That was the cheapest box seat,
Wow.
and it was like not a good box seat. Also, other Laker news. So there was a story that came out when D'Angelo Russell, D'Lo, was drafted by the Lakers. He wore number 0 in college because he said 0 people could guard him. So when he was drafted by the Lakers, do you know who wore number 0?
Russell Westbrook.
Swaggy P.
Whoa.
I can't remember his real fucking name. Swaggy P. Google it real quick while I'm talking.
Yeah.
So Swaggy P wore number 0, and D'Lo was coming out of college, and he was like, "I want 0," and Swaggy's like, "No."
Nicholas Aaron Young.
Yeah, Nick Young. So,
I remember
fucking
him.
yeah.
He's
So
the yeah.
So D'Lo, D'Lo came out of college, got drafted, was like, "I want 0," and Swaggy was like, "Nah, can't have it." And he's
Right.
like, "All right, well, 0 people can guard me, so we'll play 1-on-1 for it." No other news came out about that. First game of the season, D'Lo came out wearing number 1.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So you know they settled that in practice, and D'Lo was like, "Fuck, I guess one guy can guard me."
Hilarious.
And that's Nick Young, dude. Swaggy fucking P.
That's funny.
Yeah, I thought it was a great story. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because he wore it all throughout, like, in high school and in college. And then as soon as he was drafted, he's like, I'm going to play you for that number. And
Yeah.
he got smoked.
Yeah. So
I don't know how much he won by, but Swaggy held it down.
as we dove into Breath of the Wild, I was watching the last game between the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And the Lakers were blowing them out by a long shot. And as I get distracted, you're like, yo, what's the score of the game? And I looked up, and it was like, I think it was like 93-83. And I was like, damn, that's kind of fucking close, I think, because they were getting blown out by like 20.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's only 10. And then I thought, in our 2K terms, I'm like, oh shit, that's like a minute's worth of play right there.
Yeah.
Like we
yeah.
play like what, 5-minute quarters?
6,
Six?
I think.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's 6.
Yeah, we'll have to play some sports games.
100%.
tonight.
Yeah. So he's smiley right now. So I normally wipe the floor with him at Madden and at 2K. Normally.
Extremely at Madden.
Extremely at Madden.
And
It's a little more even
70,
at 2K.
I would say 35-65.
You're giving yourself an extra 5 there, but that's all right. I normally whoop his ass at both of those games. NHL, I think it's been like historically you by like 20%.
I think we played probably like 10 games total. Like head to
I've
head.
definitely beaten you at some of them.
I think
but I think you
honestly. I think I
normally
won with the win last night. I think that's 8 of probably like 10 or 11.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I think you win most of them. But yeah. So we did the other night. We played best of 3, and he beat me barely at NHL. It was actually
One goal,
pretty fucking
2-1.
close. Yeah, it was 2-1. And fairly even teams too was Maple Leafs Thunder,
Yep, you were Thunder.
and pretty close.
Third period goal. It was 1-1 into 3.
Yeah, it
and
was
then-
1-1 into 3. It was 1-1 at the end of the first.
Yeah.
And then we went scoreless.
I
in
think
the
it
second.
was 1-0 end of the first, and then it was 1-1.
No, I scored right before, and there was like.
No,
10
you scored
seconds left.
first.
Oh, I scored first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he was 2 unanswered.
So you scored first, and then it was 1-0 going into the second. And I was
Yeah,
kind of
one
panicking because I was
period.
like,
Yeah.
oh god, only one goal, and then I scored.
Yeah.
And then I got
that's
that
right, 'cause
late.
Mine was a little wraparound goal.
And then I got that late third period goal, like a minute something left, and you're like,
And
GG's.
the main one that you got was the runaway goal. It was the 2v1 on
Yeah.
the goalie, and it was too much. But so
And-
he smoked me on that one, and then he smoked me on Madden.
Mutt
But the
draft.
Madden game was we did a mutt draft, and the Madden game was actually pretty fucking close.
Real close.
I thought I might have had it, and then I fucked up. I fucked up 3 times in that game. Like
And
I
I
turned the
keep
ball over
getting
3 times.
kick
I was fucked up.
returns.
You keep fucking getting kick returns, and I just shouldn't kick to you. I'd rather at this point. I'd rather you get the ball at the 40. than
Chance
Kate to you.
it.
You're basically Devin Hester to me right now.
I read lanes. I'm a great running back.
You are definitely a better running back than I am.
If you could put my brain in a 7-year-old, way more athletic body, not only would I run the stock market at 8, I would be like, yo.
You know what's funny about that? I don't think you would. I don't think you've done enough research on the stock market. I think you put a lot of money into Apple and you make money.
I'm joking.
But you would have no idea what you're doing or why you're doing it.
But yeah, overall, yeah. Exaggerating. But and then we played the rubber game because it was still early in 2K.
Well, we played 2K because we both wanted to play 2K. You beat me. It was 2-0, and I was like, we just got to play the third game.
And that's okay.
And we played 2K. So neither one of us have won with the Warriors. I think the Warriors are trashed now.
So I have a theory behind that I wanted to talk about too.
It's because shooting.
They took Klay Thompson off the starting lineup.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
And then
Paul Aruzin is not the same shooter as Klay
So
is.
if you play as Golden State, you got to just take off coaching.
No, you 100% have to. I'm taking off coaching every time we play from now on.
Yeah.
I ran out of timeouts with like 3 minutes left
And I had 2.
in the game. I used 4 timeouts in the
first half.
fourth.
Oh,
Just in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just calling timeouts randomly because you were on runs. And it's
Yeah.
like, fuck that. I don't give a shit.
Like,
If
well,
we're going to break the run. We're going to break the run playing. Like,
What's
I'd rather
funny
foul you and give you 2 shots than
is-
call a timeout when I need those timeouts later. Because if I had a timeout later on, I could have inbound the ball
I was
at
just
the other side of the court instead of doing a full court shot and then shooting. But I did hit that shot though. I did hit one shot that was like an inbound.
It was right after.
I brought it down to 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just scored a 2
Yeah.
with I believe.
We just had free throws. So
Oh
it was
yeah,
fouling.
yep.
Yeah.
So I made 2 free throws, and then they said, "What team was I?"
It was Lakers.
No,
Yeah. It was Lakers Warriors.
no, 100% I was not the Lakers. I got to pick whatever team I wanted, and I didn't pick the
Oh
Lakers.
no, yeah, that's right. You said no Lakers.
It was.
It wasn't the
It
Rockets.
wasn't Cleveland. Was it the Rockets? It was the Rockets.
No, you didn't have Harden.
St. Pierre.
You didn't have Harden or Yao.
I had Harden and Yao because
Did
I
you?
packed the fuck out of you with Yao.
Oh yeah, so
I had the Rocket. I climbed the Glide. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Glide,
Yeah.
that's right.
So they said
Harden
this.
didn't do much though.
No, it was
Yeah.
Clyde St. Pierre.
Yeah.
It was Yao Ming.
Yao was getting bounced.
T Mac.
T Mac was the
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So
T Mac was the one.
So they said
No, you were the fucking the Bucks.
the Bucks.
You were the Bucks.
That was the
because
game you
kept
beat
hitting
me.
Shots. You kept hitting shots with fucking Allen.
Yeah, Ray
Yeah, you
Allen,
kept hitting shots with
Oscar.
Oscar
and then
Robinson. That's what it was.
Who's the big guy down there?
Giannis.
Yeah. No, and Giannis.
Giannis
as well.
and fucking what's his name? Not Chamberlain.
The
other guy.
Kareem
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Kareem
So
Abdul-Jabbar.
the announcer goes, "Wow, if you're listening at this point, dude, fucking grab a beer." Because but anyways,
Yeah. It's fucking buckling.
they said the Bucks are on a 15-5 run, and then you clap that 3-pointer, and I was like, "Oh fuck, dude! It doesn't matter if I'm on a 15-5 run. It's still a fucking 2-point game."
Yeah.
But the Bucks the Bucks are a good team. Oscar Robinson.
Oh yeah. No, the Bucks are really good. They're an S tier.
So if we stick on the video game page,
Hold on, I got one more sports thing to talk about. We're gonna let these settle for a second.
good.
We're gonna let these settle. We're not doing them right now.
I was like
We're not
nervous,
doing them
but
right
I
now.
was.
We're not doing them right now.
I almost bought a pickle jar.
So one thing. All right, I have 3 things to get to before we move on from sports. One thing. Do you know who Bob Gibson is?
Sounds like a baseball player.
Yes, he's a baseball pitcher.
Yeah. He pitched for.
So I don't remember who he pitched for. All right, so this is what it says. It says the last pitch Bob Gibson ever threw was hit for a grand slam by Pete Lecoq. A decade later, there was an old timers game at Wrigley Field, and Lecoq stepped up to the plate, and Gibson fucking hit him. He pitched out and hit him in the fucking ribs to get back at him for the last pitch.
Wow.
Dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. That's just a wild thing. Like he did it 10 years later. 10 years after he retired, he goes, you know, this guy hit a grand slam off me last time I pitched him. Fuck him, and he just fucking pegged him. Crazy.
What
fucking.
was his name?
Gibson.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson and Pete Lecoq. And there's the little picture of him.
You know, at the
Way
center.
off the mound.
At the center.
Way off the mound. But yeah, all right. I got one more, and so I don't know who this dude is. You can look him up if you want. I don't know who he fucking played for. It looked like it might have been the Mariners at some point. So his name is Jamie Moyer. He must have played for a long ass time, because the day he retired from the MLB, he had faced 8.9% of all MLB hitters ever. So he almost pitched against 10% of all hitters that ever played in the MLB.
That's crazy.
That's wild. I assume he's a closer, and
Yeah.
I assume he played for like 25-ish years.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. With
Speaking
the stats
of pitchers, Justin Verlander just acquired a win against every single MLB team he's ever faced.
Wow,
So
that's
that-
cool.
I
So he's
forgot-
the Brett Favre of the MLB.
I mean, there's only been like 4 quarterbacks to do it.
Yeah.
I think one of them's Peyton Manning. One of them,
It's
Peyton,
Peyton,
Favre,
Tom, Favre.
and then one Steve. One other person.
It's you know who it's got to be.
Who's that?
It's got to be Montana.
Joe Montana. Yeah,
because
yeah.
Montana beat him with Kansas City in the regular season.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a small club.
What a list.
Yeah,
What a fucking list.
And so in the MLB, you play a lot more games, so it's not easier because
I'm sure there's a bunch more people that have done it though. Like the percentages are
But you
probably
still
close
have
to the
to
same.
win.
The percentage, the percentages are probably close to the same.
So as a starting pitcher, you probably you usually pitch around 35.
I was gonna say 40
35 to 40 games a season.
Yeah.
There's probably 30 to 35 games that get judged in your decision, either wins or losses. So the 30-win seasons are the big, like, you're 30-10 at that point.
And what's the average there? Like 40, 50%?
So usually a good pitcher at a regular good season gets about 22 wins out of about 40 starts.
Okay, yeah, so about 50, 60%.
Yeah. So, but when you get a 30-win season, that means that you're at a 75% win percentage every time that you're pitching. So your
Yeah.
rotation in the playoffs is. So I know there's a lot to do with that, but you do play 163 games.
Yeah,
in a
whatever the
regular
fuck it is.
season.
It's a
So-
wild amount of games.
Yeah. Are you scared because it's raining?
The
Also-
pasta dump.
Oh yeah. Before the pasta dump,
Go
last
for
word
it.
fact. Barry Bonds, when asked about the new shift rule, he goes, "The only thing the shift ever prevented was me hitting 400."
I love that. Oh, I have one more baseball fact real quick. This one's kind of crazy. So in 1927, Lou Gehrig had 173 runs batted in. He also batted 60 times directly behind Babe Ruth after he cleared the bases.
Wow.
So 60 of his at-bats, there was no one else to bat in. And he batted in 173 rounds that season.
Wow.
What a studded fucking lineup that was. Fucking wild. Craziness. Oh, I did want to talk about this because this is fucking crazy. I don't think... Let me see if you can guess who this is. Real fast before I tell you who it is. Had to crop the picture. Because it has the fucking...
Name.
Yeah. Do you know who this is?
Jonah Hill.
Dude, look how much fucking weight he lost.
Yeah, I could tell by his face though.
Yeah, no, I know. I was trying to get one where he wasn't looking, so
Yeah.
you could only see his body. But isn't that crazy? He lost so much fucking weight.
Yeah.
He looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
Yeah, he's great. He's killing it.
Oh, where's the fucking...
I was watching at the end of us, and Jonah Hill in that movie is just a narcissistic asshole. And I
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
no, he's the worst.
Yeah, it's
He's
so...
the worst possible
I
person.
can hear everything.
Yeah. Alright, the fucking pasta, dude.
The pasta.
The pasta...
So if you are listening to our May the 5th, Revenge of the 5th, if you're listening to that podcast that just came out today, we talk about pasta that was dumped in the woods of New Jersey. 400 pounds of pasta, right? So someone estimated
we
it.
showed a pod from the Garden State podcast. Someone dumped 400 pounds of pasta. It looked like it was cooked. and with
Someone
sauce.
estimated it to be, because I think I uploaded a different video, but it's all I could find. They said it was about 15 wheelbarrowfuls of pasta.
Yeah. All right. So check this out.
Okay.
So, fucking shit solved. We'll play this right now.
The great pasta mystery of Old Bridge, New Jersey has officially been solved.
This kind of disappointed me.
Was it the Elks Lodge?
No. According to NBC4 New York, neighbors said the oodles of noodles came from a nearby house that is up for sale. A military veteran moving out of his mother's home after her death found a stockpile of pasta such as spaghetti, ziti, and alphabet noodles that she kept in the house, so he tossed it. The piles and piles of pasta were indeed raw, but the heavy rains over the past weekend made them look cooked.
See, that's why I was confused. It looked so cooked.
So people freaked out over this, and it's just some guy cleaning out his mom's house. What I want to know is, in what world do you think that's the right approach? Oh, I got all this pasta, I'm just going to dump it in the woods.
Yeah, like, do you think the spot he dumped it was also far from his mom's, or was it like maybe in the backyard? That's what I was also thinking. Like, well, how many trips did he take to the woods to dump this
Great
500 pounds of
question.
pasta?
It says the State Department of Public Works cleaned up the noodles from the illegal dump within an hour using 15 wheelbarrows. And the town's mayor, Owen Henry, said the case is now closed.
Thank you for the closure. What, Garden State Podcast?
Yeah, the Garden State Podcast.
Garden State Podcast,
Yeah,
thank
I fuck
you.
with you guys. I love New Jersey. Shout out Point Pleasant. Shout out fucking Broadway Bar and Grill. Best wings in the state. Great spot. Yeah, New Jersey's the land of pasta. Apparently it's grown on trees out there.
I was baffled.
Yeah, dude, so he dumped it. He was cleaning out his mom's house trying to sell it. And he's like, what the fuck am I going to do with all this loose pasta? And he just dumped it in the
Probably
woods and
wasn't
kept the
loose.
containers. No, it was loose. He didn't open the boxes. It was just loose pasta that was like not like on shelves, but it was in like big barrels.
Oh, okay.
Like big glass jars.
Weird.
And he just went out there and went, psh,
That would have been like
Yeah.
dump.
just put them in the woods. Fuck it.
Animals
Put them
would
in the
eat
woods.
it.
15 wheelbarrows of pasta.
That's where that-
How many trips did he take, bro? State Department took 15. He probably only took 10.
I mean, it probably blew up in size.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He probably only took 10 because he was probably more like pragmatic about it than like the state was.
Honestly, if they were in jars, he probably like 10, less than 10, probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, he probably loaded them up, stacked
In
them
the
up,
back,
strapped
in the-
them together,
yeah.
and then just brought them out and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, craziness. I have one more like weird news thing
Okay.
if you want to hear it. So there's this lady way back in the fucking day. Yeah, there's this lady way back in the day, and she holds the record for the most kids ever birthed. And her name is Valentina Vassilyev. And that's her.
Okay.
And she's had 69 children. 69 children she's birthed out of her whatever. Look at the family photo.
That's crazy.
So she's had 16 pairs of twins, 7 triplets, and 4 quadruplets.
Wow.
So that's what? That's 16 plus 7 is what? 23 plus
How many was it?
4.
Is-
16 plus 7 plus 4. So that's 27 births
Wow.
with 69 kids. 27 births and 69 children.
And
And they all lived. They all lived.
There's an anime character.
Look at all those fucking kids.
There's an anime character who I'll not name at this point, but she has 85 children in a series that is made up. And this lady, who is real, who lived back in fucking
Yeah, whenever the fuck.
black and white photo
Yeah.
time,
Exactly.
birthed 69 children.
Every single. She never had a single child.
Yeah.
Every single one of them were a twin, triplet, or quadruplet.
And the thing is, she survived
Every single one of them.
all those births
Without a fucking. What's the shot they give them?
epidural
Epidural. Without the epidural.
in black and white photo time.
You ladies are being bitches. This is your pinnacle. This is your This is your Are You Not Entertained? That's your gladiator. That's what that is. That's the female version of a gladiator.
If Elon Musk was ever listening to our podcast right now, he would be like this. And I will tag that because he is one of the guys that are saying, hey, if you guys don't start having more kids, we're going to die.
Oh, yeah. She definitely helped out. Wait, hold on. We're going to do a shot to her name.
Oh, God.
To... Here, I'll let you read it at the top.
Valentina Vasilevs.
So I'm going to say it's Valentina Vasilev. Cheers to Valentina. Jameson Orange, not a sponsor. Yet.
I prefer regular.
That's going to be the first TikTok. Just calling out Jameson. Alright, so I got to cut Stumper for you. So I'm going to let you pick. You can either try to name every quarterback that's had 6 or more rushing touchdowns since the year 2000, or you can name every team's last 4,000-yard passer.
Oh man, so I'll do quarterbacks rushing touchdown, 6 rushing touchdowns since 2000.
All right, let me pull it up.
Michael Vick.
Hold up. All right, so obviously Vic is there.
Since 2000, all the way up to today.
Since 2002 today.
Patrick Mahomes.
No.
So what, like 3 strikes, I'm out?
We'll do 5 strikes.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Aaron Rodgers. He's got to be on that list.
He's not.
I'm going to challenge. I'm throwing a challenge flag.
Since 2000. 6 rushing touchdowns.
Aaron Rodgers rushing touchdowns. 35.
That's not what my list is saying. Maybe my list is fucked up. Maybe we change it.
Aaron Rodgers has run for 35 touchdowns in his career.
Then he should be on the list. He's not. Oh, I fucked up. You know what it is?
What's that?
It's 6 rushing touchdowns in a single season.
Oh.
Sorry about it.
Cam Newton.
So we'll take that back. Vic's good. Cam is good.
So I'm at 0 strikes. We'll do 4 now.
0 strikes. No, we'll still do 5 because there's still a bunch of them.
Okay. Justin Herbert.
No.
Damn.
So there's 1x.
He gets more 4th downs than touchdowns. Russell Wilson.
Russ is on there.
Roethlisberger.
He's not on there.
Damn. All right, who's a big body quarterback that gets rushing touchdowns?
Since 2000.
Yeah. In a single season. Drew Brees. Probably not. No, that was a bad guess.
That was a bad one. I'll give you 3 more strikes.
Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, he hasn't even played a season.
Yeah, 2 is not on there. We won't count that though.
Justin Fields? No, not
Justin Fields is on there.
So who else is young and a quarterback
And rushes for touchdowns.
and rushes for touchdowns?
You could even go older dudes.
Yep.
There's dudes that did it in the 2000s, 2010s.
It's hard. It's tough. There's so many people.
I will say this. I knew most of them.
I'm trying to think of all the quarterbacks though. You know.
There are some like OG 90s dudes that played in the 2000s that did it.
Damn. just sucks because it's hard to think on the spot.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. At this point, you can just list them off because my brain's
You
going.
done?
Yeah.
You calling it quits after 4?
Yeah.
All right, so you got Mike Vick, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields. So Jalen Hurts,
Hurts.
Josh Allen, Daniel Jones has done it.
Damn.
Ryan Tannehill's done it.
Damn.
Kyler Murray's done it. Lamar Jackson's done it.
Oh, Lamar, I missed. I would have got that.
Deshaun Watson's done it.
Okay.
Dak Prescott's done it.
I would have never got that.
Tyrod Taylor's done it.
Wow.
Jameis Winston's done it.
Wow.
Geno Smith has done it.
Never guessed it.
Robert Griffin III has done it.
Should have guessed it.
Mark Sanchez has done it.
Never would have guessed it.
Vince Young
I probably
did it
wouldn't have guessed
in
it.
the year 2000.
Wow.
Jeff Garcia did it.
Wouldn't have guessed it.
Dante Culpepper did it.
Should have guessed it.
Donovan McNabb did it.
Should have guessed it.
And Cordell Stewart did it.
Should have guessed it.
And the last one is Taysom Hill,
Would have never guessed it.
because he's not really listed as a quarterback. He's listed as everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's definitely done it.
Damn. I should have at least got like 7 or 8.
Yeah, you got 4, so I'll give you an F.
Sick.
Cut stumper in the fucking books.
Sick.
Yeah, so next week will be the other one. Hopefully you don't remember it, but don't think too hard. Don't think too hard. Don't worry about it. All right, moving on. Did you know that Payless Shoes, as a publicity stunt and to make fun of the fashion industry,
I love this. I love this.
yeah, they made a little pop-up shop for shoes, and I
high-end.
can't remember the name. Yeah, it was a high-end footwear shop,
Yes.
and it was like less pay or something.
No, it was.
They called it something weird.
It was like a completely different name, and they rebranded everything as a high-end shoe.
Yeah, but it was
dealer.
just their shoes,
And
and
they
they sold
invited a
them for
bunch
like
of-
400, 300 a piece.
So they invited a bunch of influencers
Yep.
and fashion
a
novas.
bunch of fashion people, and they bought it. And as they walked out, they told them like, "Hey, those are just Payless shoes."
No,
And,
and-
the whole time they were like, "Wow, it's such great quality.
You
Such
can
good
tell
fashion.
they-
Yeah, you can tell by they're doing this and the stitching and blah 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 blah." They just roasted them. Didn't make mainstream news. Didn't. It made like local news. They talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was it. 'Cause I remember it when I was younger, but
Yeah,
crazy.
Um,
They just shit on the fashion market.
yeah. So what's brought tears to my eyes as of recent, going back to playing some video games,
Circle back.
is the Tears of the Kingdom.
Legend of Zelda.
It just came out now. How many hours would you say you put into it so far?
Probably close to 16.
I'm probably at like 5 to 8,
Yeah.
but
What do you give it right now out of 10?
I give it an
Personal out of 10, not based off anyone else.
8.9. I give it an 8.9 right now.
Yeah.
Because at my skill level, I haven't been able to fully envelop the game of what it's capable of.
You
So-
haven't gotten real deep into the puzzles either.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as the point I'm at right now, it's still great and it's open world, but until I start learning the ins and outs of the entire game,
So from where I'm at, it is as close to you can get as a 10 out of 10 video game as
Yeah.
you can get. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might give it a 9.5. Solely based on the fact that there's no 2-player mode.
it's gonna.
It would be so much cooler if you could play missions or puzzles, or if they had even like a side set of missions or puzzles.
Or like you had
or,
to
like, a
stay.
2-player mode.
If you play 2-player, you would have to stay within 100 yards of the other player.
Yeah, you can't just go off into completely different fucking realms. You have to stay within. So like, not the same aspect, but kind of like how Fable 3 did it. So if you play 2-player, you have to stay within the same frame.
Yeah.
So the frame can zoom out only so much, and then you're playing way away, and you're like, "Hey, bro, come over here. I can't see what I'm doing." And then they walk closer to you, and then it zooms back
Yeah.
into where you guys are at.
Yeah.
But something along those lines. Obviously, it would have to be split screen or via like
Like if you did.
across the fucking world. You can play online with people. But it would be dope if they had like a set of, even if it was just puzzles, or even if it was just like an arena style thing, like they dropped fucking mob goblins or whatever they were
Yeah.
into the thing, you had to kill them, and you come in with whatever you bring in, and when it breaks, it breaks. And then when you come back out, you just get it back. So it's whatever you like preload yourself with.
It's like
And then you
Valheim.
load in.
Valheim.
Yeah, well, yeah, but then you load into like not a PvP, but like a
Yeah.
fucking you
What-
just play
your boys'
against the computers
servers.
in like a tournament. And you go through tiers, and you can win prizes for each tier, and you split them. So you get
Yeah.
like rupees maybe, or you get like some cool gear if you make it to the end. And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you make tiers. So if you make it to the end of tier 1, you get a cool helmet. Make it to the end of tier 2, you get a cool chest piece. Make it to the end of tier 3, you get dope leggings. And then it restarts, but with better shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep winning with that same individual person, so you make it like 10 rungs, you mark up them 10 rungs with that dude, you get a cool reward. And then the ending, have it be like some dope thing for like the Master Sword.
Right.
Like something, or like an attachment item that never breaks, and it's like you attach this to the Master Sword, and your Master Sword's always a flame sword, or always an ice sword. Like make it be random, have it be all the elements.
Right.
You just get one random thing, and you can like drop your partner shit. So like if I'm further along in the game than you are, and I have a bunch of dope weapons, and you have some okay shit, I give you some dope weapons, and then we use your okay shit to like attach some other cool shit that we can use. Kinda, it'd be a good time.
It's like if you could take the game Skyrim and just add your best friend to play with you on missions,
Yeah.
that would make this game the same thing.
So like not even missions. So you remember?
Or just open world,
Do
dude.
you remember Fable? Like, you ever play any of the Fables at all?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so there's one of them, it's called, oh, fuck, what was it? It was the Crucible, I think, like the Fable Crucible. And so, once you got to a certain part of the game, like you were, like, not about to win, but you're, like, 70% done with the game, you unlock the Crucible, and you had champions. And basically what it was is you fight against waves of every different type
It's like
of
Hyrule
enemy.
Warrior.
Yeah, so like every different type of enemy comes in, and it's like just one like little like a giant octagon, and then they drop in like 20 mob goblins, and then the next one, and then like the end of it's like 3 trolls. You got to take out 3 trolls while dodging all of them, and then maybe for Zelda it'd be like a dragon at the end that's got like all like 8 of the elements, whatever the fuck it is. Like,
Right.
so you could do that on Fable, but you couldn't do that split screen. You couldn't do it split screen. It was just a one-player thing because the rewards were so great. But also you could only do it once. But there was like some cheats where if you made it like all the way through to the second to last level and then died, you could keep the experience you gained and then just redo it again. I don't know. There was a bunch of weird shit that was involved with it. But that would be sick if they added something like that as a DLC, like an arena, like a Zelda arena. And you could play with friends, like up to 4 people, or even up to 8 people.
Well,
'cause
like,
it's fucking
I mean, back in the
Nintendo.
day, the Four Swords, like,
Yeah.
so back in the day when you can connect Game Boy Advances with a cord.
Yeah, they had the splitters.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, if you got the Mad Cats, if you got the regular one that came, the standard one was just a cord to cord, and you can only connect the 2. But if you bought the Mad Cats or third-party variants, they would have a splitter in the middle to where somebody else could connect
They
a
could
wire.
plug into theirs. Yeah, it was a little Y break, and then there was a little pop.
So we never got 4, but I did in middle school for the one that came with. It was right after A Link to the Past came out for it came out for the Game Boy Advance. It was like the Four Swords, I think.
Okay.
But we had 3 people playing it, and you can play co-op or competitive. So co-op's way better because you all share rupees. But competitive, you guys rush for the chest.
Gotcha.
So sometimes you're
someone
like,
gets
fuck
it,
your
yeah.
life. Yeah. So just playing, if you could just do that same thing with this game.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Just drop in different waves of people, make it like 10 runs per it, and then once you get a dub, you get a dub, and then you can move on to the next one.
Like
It.
first round is just those
You
little
can't
bopkins.
save for the first 10 rounds up until you finish the
I would
10th
say
round.
every 5 rounds you can either check out with all your gear or
yeah,
continue.
they give you an out halfway through each one. I like that.
Every 5 rounds they give you an out. Would you like to say with your current? And so what you have to do is you have to load your body with cooking recipes, bombs, all the weapons that you want to, and then essentially you could just do all that. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Um,
Oh, one thing I wanted to do is to rate a restaurant.
oh, yeah.
So I went to Baby Bear Burger
Baby Bear Burger.
on Page Avenue in Jackson.
Okay.
It's the owners that bought the taco house the company that was open for 30
Yes.
years that we had that were very
Your
average
dad said it
tacos.
was the best burritos in town.
Best tacos in town.
Whatever it was.
And they were very
Garbage.
average.
Garbage.
Very average.
Garbage. Average for the area. Garbage in
Yes.
general.
So, Baby Bear Burger, I bought their standard cheeseburger and their standard fries with no drink because I had a cup of water. I was just like, I'll just drink water. It was fucking $13. I don't want another shot. So, it was $13. And I'm going to say it was very average food. What I don't like about the burger is that they put chopped onions on it. And when you eat a burger, diced onions just get everywhere. Okay?
Yeah. You put too much of them.
Yeah.
You can over onion a burger.
And then the quality's okay, but realistically, for the price, you could get a better meal at what's the cow place?
Moo Moo Barn.
No. Moo Moo Bar. Dixie.
No. Dixie? Is it Dixie? Don't
Don't
look it up. Don't look it up.
Dollenberger. Dollenberger. Yep. Dixie Dollenberger.
Dollenberger.
I like Dollenberger way more.
Okay.
So out of a score of 10, 6-7.
6-7.
6-7. So if you eat there,
What do you give Dollenberger? Just for like a baseline.
a 7-2.
7-2 for Dollenberger. Okay,
Yeah,
that's good. That's
because-
a good score for Dollenberger. I like that.
Because if I gave In-N-Out a score, 8-9.
In-N-Out for me is a 9.5, but it's the California In-N-Out, specifically the one off of Foothills. Like, I have a specific one that I just fucking love. Not Foothills. Roseville Road and Sunset. That's the one. Roseville Road and Sunset, right on the cusp of Roseville and Rockland in California. That's the best In-N-Out in the state.
To be fair, there used to be a good Wendy's. Like, that's the Wendy's you go to, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That was the one. There were other ones that were, like, not necessarily closer, but, like, less turns to get to.
Yeah.
But me and Trevi always went to that one. And that was the one that I had gone to from, like, middle school up until even after the military. Like, that was the one that I fucking loved. That was the dope one. That was my In-N-Out.
Oh, we can do Ambio figures today.
Oh, yes.
And by the way, if you look behind you, he gives you mushrooms.
This one?
He gives you mushrooms because he's Mr. Mario, so let's definitely pull him out. I was just remembering this yesterday.
Any of the other ones in there do some crazy shit?
No. The rest of them are all Funko Pops.
You never know with you.
But I remember with Breath of the Wild. Oh, please just put that back in, dude. You know, it's an antique.
It is an antique.
I got for free. Oh God. Anyways,
It's in there.
yeah,
I think that's a fucking pod.
yeah. We got
Happy birthday, Malcolm.
We got 2 episodes of Little Dicky. Oh, you know what movie just came out, by the way? White Men Can't Jump with Jack Harlow. It's on Hulu.
Oh, we gotta watch that.
And then, have you finished the Michael Jordan movie, Air?
Yes.
How was it?
It's good. It's
How-
really good. So I was talking to me and Chris watched it, and she was like, "How come we were about 58% of the way through the movie?" And she's like, "How come they're not showing Michael?"
Because they had
And
to
I
pay
said
him.
because it's not only that, it's not about Michael. It's about Nike. It's about the shoe. It's about the Jordan. They had an actor that looked kind of like him, but they always had him in the background. He was just a tall, bald black dude, and he would just walk in
Shot
and
from
he
the
had
back.
he had some words. Yeah, shots from the back, shots from like right here.
Yeah.
Like cut like this part of his face. Like it was just
Yeah.
like that. But Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, phenomenal together.
Love it.
Phenomenal together. Ben Affleck played the dude that started Nike, and he was mad the whole time. They wanted their whole thing in the beginning was that they wanted to get 3 players for $250,000, and they like one of the guys was like, "Oh, I like John Stockton, but where's even that college?" And the college he played for was fucking big basketball college now. Starts with a G, maybe.
Georgia Tech.
No,
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Yeah, he played for Gonzaga. They're like, where even is Gonzaga? And the guy's like, I don't know. And he's like, so you've never seen him play? And he goes, no, I've seen him play. And he's like, how? Because like not all of them were on film, so it's like you would have had to have gone to the game. He's like, how did you see him? He's like, oh, I just like the name.
Yeah.
And he sucked. And then he like came to this conclusion that like, hey, Michael Jordan, I think he's the guy. And he's like, why would we spend our money for 3 guys on 1 guy? And he's like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Big old thing. He wanted to sign with Adidas.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It'd be so crazy.
It was Adidas and Converse. Adidas was his main thing. He like was basically he would. So this North Carolina was a Converse school. He would wear Converse during the game, and then immediately after the game on the court, he would change into his Adidas and then walk off the court.
Hilarious.
Like he would wear Adidas to the game, put on his shoes, and then wear Converse while he played, and then wear Adidas back into the locker room.
Hilarious.
And Nike was like a little podunk fucking thing. Like they were like nothing before Michael.
Yeah.
Like they were like the lowest of the low. They were lowest on the totem pole. Like they called his agent and they were like, hey, we want a meeting with him. And he laughed at him. He's like, well, you guys don't even have the capital. And he's like, no, we'll give him this. And he's like, that's not enough. And they ended up giving him more than it's a whole thing. Like
Yeah.
you know the story obviously, but
Yeah.
it's a great movie. Highly recommend watching it.
Hell yeah.
Super solid.
Hell yeah.
I have one thing I want to rant about.
Okay.
And it's about the fucking Lakers. The fucking dirty, no good, bullshit, bitch ass Lakers.
Okay.
And so them, not necessarily playing the Kings this year, but against the Warriors, I have some stats.
Okay.
Alright, so game 1, Lakers shoot 29 free throws. The Warriors have 6. Lakers win. Game 2, Lakers shoot 17 free throws. Warriors have 16. Warriors win by 30. Game 3, Lakers shoot 37 free throws. Warriors shoot 17. Lakers win. Game 4, Lakers shoot 20 free throws. Warriors shoot 12. Lakers win. Game 5, Lakers and Warriors both shoot 15 free throws. Warriors win by 15. Game 6, Lakers shoot 42 free throws. Warriors shoot 14.
Wow.
Lakers win.
Wow. That's gross.
Seems a little 2001-ish, if
You know-
you ask me.
If you ask LeBron, he's never played on a team that practices flops.
He's the flop master.
But did you see the latest one that we shared back and forth? And yes, the hand did brush to the beard. It did.
It did like one of these. It was
But
like
but it was his face to go along
he
with it.
jumped backwards.
Yeah, like he was slugged.
He sold it. He
Yes.
sold it.
So
It's the
hard.
same thing with Sabonis and Draymond. Sabonis sold the way better than Draymond sold anything else.
Yes.
Draymond just stomped him.
Yes.
The LeBron thing is hilarious to me because he is a repeat offender, just like Draymond is with kicking people.
Yep.
LeBron's a repeat fucking offender with flopping.
Yep.
Did he sell it really well?
Yes.
Yeah. Is he the best basketball player to ever live playing right now in the league? Yeah. Are the refs going to give him special treatment? Of fucking course. Did they give Michael special treatment? Of fucking course.
it's
I
like-
love that clip of Michael talking to the ref when he's on the Wizards. And he's like, hey, man, he fouled me. And he's like, did he foul you, Michael? I didn't see him. Did he foul you, Michael? He goes, yeah, he fouled me. He goes, all right. And he calls a foul.
Crazy.
Like, they're both mic'd up. And he's like, did he foul you, Michael? Did he foul you? I believe you, Michael. And then he calls a foul. I guarantee you LeBron's getting the same goddamn treatment.
Yeah. Well,
I love LeBron.
Nuggies are up.
Go Nugs.
Go Nugs.
Go Nugs.
And go Heat.
Hey, go Nugs, go Heat.
Go Jimmy.
Go Jimmy and
Buckets and Joker.
Jimmy Jokic.
I didn't want that.
Yeah, you did.